Welcome back to First Take. Time for a quick take. Magic City night in Atlanta is off. The NBA has canceled the Hawks' plans to celebrate the city's famed Magic City, a famous area strip club, saying yesterday it was responding to concerns from across the league. The promotion was scheduled for March 16th during Atlanta's game against the Orlando Magic. The Hawks originally announced the event last month, calling it, quote, an iconic cultural institution, end quote. Stephen A., your reaction to the association canceling this promotion?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to say, let me not be a hypocrite. I have no problem with Magic City at all. I just want to make sure I say that. Having said that, in all seriousness, the NBA made the right call. And the reason why they made this call is because, according to my sources, they got numerous calls from numerous team officials throughout the league that were appalled with the NBA allowing one of its teams to be associated with this in such a direct marketing and promotional fashion. Now, to be clear, there's a lot of people out there that are looking at the NBA and they're accusing the NBA of hypocrisy because of its association with gambling and what have you, and how pervasive that has come into the sport. The NBA would be quick to tell you that the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and various other leagues were all opposed to gambling's involvement in sports until the Supreme Court ruling in 2018, and how that changed the landscape of a lot of different things. And they don't compare this to that. And so we can debate that as much as we want to, but in the end, when you think about Magic City, obviously it's a strip club. You know, you spoke about it the other day as a wife, as a parent, that you know what, your husband's gonna be calling the game, and you're like, wait a minute, because here you are at Magic, you know, celebrating Magic City, you know, while your children are watching. You brought that up. And so those are the kind of things that people are pointing to support the NBA's decision. Atlanta's position, a lot of people in Atlanta's position, is that, wait a minute now, it is a part of the culture down here. But one source within the NBA has said to me is that, you know what, are we saying that a strip club personifies black culture in Atlanta? And I think that we would all say no to that. You know, we don't have a problem with Magic City. You know, again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. You know, many, many years ago, I went there several times, okay, just to be put it on Front Street. But again, to have it defined as black culture, considering the historical perspective that involves the ATL, the black community, how pervasive we are down there, how much it matters to us, how much black history matters to us, and what have you, you certainly don't want to find yourself in a situation where you are defined to some degree as being associated with a strip club, and that being said or compared to black culture. You certainly don't want something like that to be the case. That was the NBA's position. Several players spoke out about it. A guy from the San Antonio Spurs spoke out about it. You had Al Horford, who's his former teammate in Boston, supported him with that. And they weren't the only players who did so. Certainly, numerous teams, I can say that numerous teams throughout the NBA said they don't have a problem with Magic City. They don't have a problem with it at all. But for a team to have a promotional event surrounding it is different contextually. And that's not something that the NBA should be endorsing. And last but not least, the NBA wanted to make sure that I knew this notion that they okayed it is totally false. They never knew anything about it until it was announced. Once it was announced, they addressed it, but they certainly never knew anything about it. They certainly never okayed the Atlanta Hawks coming forward with this promotional event. They never gave that okay, not once. They didn't know anything about it until it became publicized. And once that happened, they put the nail in the coffin.
Right. It did feel a little bit inappropriate, but nonetheless, there are other promotions. You know, we give away bobbleheads. We do things like that. Maybe this isn't the appropriate thing to do for a game, even though they are playing the Magic that night.
These two teams tangoed. It was quite the festivities. Nikola Jokic getting 22 points, his 126th straight 20-point performance. Time will Pinninger night from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, becoming just the second player with 35 points, 15 assists, and no turnovers in a game. LeBron James was the only other to do so back in 2018. Now SGA, the overwhelming favorite to run it back at MVP minus 800 according to DraftKings Sportsbook. We say good morning to NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, waking up early this morning with us. Perk, fantastic to see you. Big-time shots, big-time clutch performance again from SGA. What did you make of what you saw from him down the stretch in the closing moments?
Well, that he's the best player in the world, and he's picking up where he left off from last year. When you talk about one of the most efficient guards to ever play the game of basketball, that's SGA. And last night he showed that you could put me from an individual standpoint. And you talk about being able to go get yours, 35 plus, and then make guys around you better, a la Jalen Williams, a la, Isaiah Joe. Those role players were getting off because of the attention of SGA. And when you look at where the Thunder are right now, they understood the assignment. They understand that every game matters because they're trying to have home court throughout the Western Conference because they learned from having 2 important Game 7s last year on their home floor that they can't take it for granted. And they know that the Spurs are right there lurking, trying to catch them for that number 1 spot.
Well, let's go back to one member perk of the OKC Thunder who's certainly playing with some added intensity, and that is Lou Dort. Let's go back. We have a so this happened perk. They go from, come on, it didn't even hit him in the face, to, okay, the left arm that hit him in the face.
Very much got him in the face.
First of all, yeah, nobody talked on that broadcast for about 12 seconds. And then secondly, perk, habitual line stepper here with Dort, specifically with Jokic. How does that arm come all the way back up on the follow-through?
Well, Dort got to understand that he's under watch, right? From all his previous stuff, especially when it comes to him and Jokic from their last outing, a few games ago. Mm-hmm. And so, again, Lou Dort is one of those guys he's going to play physical. He's going to bring that tenacity. That's why this guy's always flirting in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Mm-hmm. First defense, all that stuff matters. But again, he has to watch himself because we're getting down to the stretch where he is so valuable to this team, and especially having so many unknowns. If Jalen Williams is going to be back, is Alex Caruso going to be healthy? He's so important that he got to make sure that he understands and keep himself in the moment and keep himself in the game, because he is one of those game swingers or series swingers that if he's not available, the Thunder actually could lose the series because of the importance of him.
Right. Perk, that was last night. This is tonight a massive one between the Celtics and the Spurs, both 2 seeds in their respective conferences. What are you looking forward to most in this game?
I'm looking for a brawl for it all. We're talking about two teams that are, legit title contenders. This could possibly be a finals preview. Like, we got to realize the Spurs are not waiting for next year or the year after next. They're for the now. Wemby is for the now. I'm looking at Jason Tatum return for the Boston Celtics, and I'm saying to myself, they're ready for all the smoke. They're the most dangerous team in the NBA because they have the most championship experience in the Eastern Conference with a duo that is proven to get it done. And the way that Tatum is looking, obviously Jaylen Brown playing at the MVP level and Wemby, I'm looking forward to these 2 teams because, again, the Spurs are trying to catch that number 1 seed. They understand the only knock on them is having lack of playoff experience, and that they want to make sure that they can have every game possible on their home court this playoff series.